Hi, we're Tim and Abby, and we're converting a camper van so that we can eventually tour around Europe. In this video, we've got a few things on the exterior of the van that we've got to fix, so let's see how we get on.
Right, we're outside our van today. We're going to take off the trims here and just check that they're watertight, how they're sealed in. We know there's a problem with sprinters and crafters when they're put on and the clips from the factory let water through, so you have to take them off and reseal them. Haven't seen really too many pictures or videos of what it looks like on the Transit, so we don't actually know if we have that problem or not. So for the benefit of the doubt, we're going to just take them off anyway, give them a clean if nothing else, and we'll just see if they are actually watertight, and if not, we'll fix that. Can't see any screw fixings on here anywhere. So, imagining they just kind of pop out the clips. There you go. So this one looks like it will pop out now, right?
Hopefully.
Maybe. We'll just give it a go now. We might be able to just pop this one out. There we go. And obviously it's attached by the light. So yeah, finally got that panel off. Took a little bit longer than we thought. So you can see actually on the Transit, at least on our Transit, it's not the same as the Sprinter. On the Sprinter, these plugs were just going straight in with nothing around them. Ours do actually have a
little rubber seal.
yeah, there's a little rubber kind of grommet on there, so might actually be that it's watertight anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to stand outside, pour some water down this trim, which is still attached to the van at the moment. Tim's going to go inside, see if any water comes through those plugs.
Alright, let's do it. Looks good at the moment. Okay, so pretty happy actually that we don't have the exact same problem that we have on the Crafter and Sprinter, because of that washer is actually doing a really nice job of sealing that quite nicely. It's still leaking on that one, but maybe that is just because we pulled it out. So what we'll probably do is we're going to take every panel off anyway and just clean it all up, make it nice, make sure there's none of them are actually broken, the washers. But as we test each one, we'll check to see if they're watertight. Just been a hailstorm, so we've got 3 chickens just sitting, chilling out on a bench over here.
Hello ladies. Getting out of the hail.
Okay, so it's another day, nice frosty morning, pretty cold again. We're going to carry on today and try and finish up the trim. Van's looking pretty messy this morning. There's all the bits and stuff we've been working on at the moment. These panels, we tried to put them on with, stuck them with the screws, but it's kind of got a little bit lost as we've gone, so hopefully you'll remember which one go where. So what we think we're going to do, which we've been experimenting with now, is we've got some butyl tape basically, which is like a rubberized, infused with butyl compound. In fact, Abby's got it here.
So this is the one that we went for. It's W4 mastic sealing strip, and you can get them in different colours, but the colour didn't really matter to us. And it comes on this sort of tape, and if you peel that back, it kind of looks a bit like...
It's like Play-Doh.
Play-Doh, a little bit.
Hopefully this is better than just leaving them in by themselves. But we'll find out, I suppose. Or maybe we won't. Who knows? So the water test looks successful, which is good. So I think we're going to carry on and put that tape all the way around, see if we can get all the panels done. If we have enough clips that we haven't broken. I think we've broken 13 clips so far. And we had to borrow 7 from the wheel arch on the other side, so yeah. See. All right. So we're out here using the heat gun for other bits and bobs, but we realised as a little hack we can use it to warm up our feet so we can stay out in the December cool air for a little while longer.
About 6 degrees today, and the sun's just setting, so
We're getting really cold toes, and unfortunately these are the only shoes we've each got at the moment for this.
So Tim's come up with this clever hack.
So just warming the inside of the shoe there.
Do my toe first.
Oh yeah.
It's frozen.
Warm toes coming up. Just don't get too close. This is a very hot heat gun. This is not the most energy efficient way
Not really.
to warm your feet.
God, the toe is numb.
See, this is red hot inside.
Trap. Oh, that's better.
How's that? That should give you another half an hour or so until feet freeze again.
So today our challenge that we've set for ourselves is to try and fix these sort of dents that we've got in our back bumper and on this sort of side trim here. I think it happened when the guy who previously drove it reversed into something, so it sort of crunched it up. So we saw something online, it was a video I think on YouTube, where this guy poured a load of boiling water on it and then just managed to sort of press it back into shape. So we're going to try and see if it works.
So, pretty happy with that. Can actually barely really notice where it was crumpled. This whole thing was depressed out. The hot water works, but it's just really slow and runs out really quickly. But using the heat gun, you get right in there, really targeted. Plastic's really soft, doesn't take long, just a few seconds, but it's pretty hot. And then with this rubber mallet, basically being able to just mould it around the shape because it's curved, and only taken about 3 or 4 targeted heatings, a bit of elbow grease, pressure, and
Good.
there we go. Awesome.
Another thing we didn't really see when we bought this van was that actually on both sides they've both got this sort of crack running down both tail lights and reversing lights.
It's a really thin hairline one. Where is
Yeah.
it? I can't even see it.
It's there. You can just feel it over my finger.
Oh yeah.
And so over time water is pooled in the bottom because it's so cold outside. It's actually frozen inside there. There's a bit of ice rattling around. How do I get the ice out?
Right.
So even though we've just emptied out the water that was in it, what we're actually going to do now is fill it back up with water just to see exactly where it's coming out on the crack.
Frozen solid.
It's pretty cold. Yeah, you can see it's all the way down.
Abby's trying to get the super glue to go down the tiny little crack, which hopefully will be enough to make it a watertight seal again. We will see. So we're just sanding them back now because it's got some glue residue on it and stuff, and also just to make it a bit shiny hopefully. So we're starting off with a 1000 grit, and then we've got 1500, 2000, and then if we can be bothered, 2500. Nice, I'm pretty happy with that.
Sweet.
So now we just have to try it again overnight.
I can finally put them back in.
Cool.
Let's get out the rain.
So we have a bit of an irritating problem at the moment. When we put the step back on yesterday, we realised that some of the clips that hold the little washers that go into the van that you screw into are missing. 2 of them missing. So there's one there, and this one are missing. So there's nothing to screw it into.
It's the great clip mystery.
Clip mystery. And we saw a photo as well just this morning where we can see clearly that they were on there and they're just gone. And the problem is, it's just gravel down here, and these little white things are really hard to spot in the best of times. Okay, Abby somehow has found it inside the step there. Well done. I don't know how the hell you saw that. Abby found it. somehow.
Gravelling around in the gravel when it's raining. Get my reward.
Well done.
And it was there.
Nice. Well, you found both. Good job. Now you can get the step back on and actually carry on with what we were going to do today.
That.
Let's see them, what they look like. How annoying. Well, good work. So we've been going around doing the panels on the passenger side today. It's gone a lot faster, so it's pretty good. Now that we know how to do it, it's probably 5 or 10 times faster. And then we just noticed that where the door bashy thing, what do you call this thing? Door stop.
What was a door bashy thing?
This, where the door stop has been, we're imagining that it's probably been just a little bit loose, and so it's been like rocking. Oops, don't want to lose that. It's been rocking, and then these bolts sticking out must have rocked into the metal there, and it's actually made, especially here, it's made a dimple, and it's peeled the paint away, so we've got bare metal showing there now. So, got the first point where we've got something we've got to actually paint up and fix. We're just going to paint it with the red oxide primer, and the problem we have, because it's winter, is that this stuff says you shouldn't use it if it's below 10 degrees or in damp conditions, which is basically every single day for the next few months probably, so we're going to have to scratch that and just do it anyway. So yeah, we're going to sand it down, apply this steel stick stuff, which could be rubbish, haven't used it yet, so don't know. Hopefully it will just plug that little hole, and in 1 hour it should be hard enough, cured in an hour, that we can paint over. Then I'll put some of that stuff on, and then tomorrow we'll paint over it with the white paint, and then we can actually put the panel back on, which we thought we were going to be able to do in the space of just like a few minutes, but it turns out it's going to be a bit of a detour for a day.
Always the way.
Yep.
Never mind, let's get to it.
Yep. So we sanded down the steel stick and it's worked quite nice and smooth. I'm going to oxide over it. First paint is on the van. So Abby's just gone to get some nice soapy water so we can clean off this back panel, which we've just taken off. It wasn't too bad, same as the other ones, the small plastic clips. Broke one of them, obviously, always seem to break one when I get those off. And you can see here where the guy who's had the van before has reversed into something and pushed out the metalwork there. I wanted to get to this to treat that exposed metal there. And then we're almost done prepping up the outside of the van, which would be good, because it's getting pretty wet and cold out there all the time. And it'd be nice to actually be in the van, actually building something, instead of just getting the van good enough to build in. I did tidy it up in there the other day, and it's already pretty messy again.
It's on the top.
We've got the last bit of trim on this side back on. We've got the light back on here, which works. We thought for a while that we'd inadvertently broken one of the bulbs on the connection when we're doing it, because we couldn't get one of the bottom ones to turn on, and we realised it's a fog light. So we think, turns out that Halfords does a frozen white paint, which in theory should be exactly the colour we want. At least that's according to transit forums on the internet. So we'll see about that. 2 minutes of this. It says not to spray it in windy conditions, but that's literally every day. It's like all the problems we have with the weather. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad. What would you say?
It's alright to me.
Okay, should we go for it then?
Yeah.
That's a lot less yellow than it looks on the label, which is good. Okay. So you sure you've covered this up well, yeah?
I'll try to.
Alright.
So remember in sweeping motions, apparently.
That's a pretty good match. This weather will just not give us a break the last few days, so it's actually stopped raining now for a few seconds, and every time we think that it's going to be dry for even just a few minutes to paint something, rains again. So we're not falling for it this time, are we? Very frustrating. So there we go, the doorstop is back on and we've tightened it up a lot more than it was last time, so hopefully that little clearance in there with those screws is not going to rub against the bit we've fixed up now.
So we just got to go and see if the chickens have laid any eggs today.
Hopefully, because I'm hungry.
Oh, there's some in there, look.
You see them already? Oh, the chickens are in there.
Yeah. Oh, a little mouse. Did you see that?
No. Alright.
Hello, ladies.
Excuse me, chickens. Let's see if you have made any eggs today. Poached eggs could be on the cards if you have.
Ready, steady.
Oh, nice. 2 eggs. Perfectly in the middle there.
Like little presents.
That's awesome. So we got that piece of foam off. Pretty manky.
It's a bit gross.
A bit grimy. And yeah, gonna give that a clean now.
What is this?
Yeah, that.
It's really weird.
I don't know. Some thing that is pretty manky. I found this adhesive cleaner. Literally put a bit on there, wiped with a cloth, and it just came off. Ah, if only I found that earlier. Oh well.
Never mind.
The only bit of trim that we haven't looked at on the whole van is the bit right at the front. So from the crease line in the door, this little bit of arch here, and then the bumper. And this is where the van has suffered a bit of damage before from guys who had it last time. So they've gone into something at the front. And, see here, there's some damage here where it's cracked. It actually looks like there's a bit of metal quite pronounced pushing out there. So we've got to figure out how to get this off, which not sure. We got everything else off. It wasn't too bad, but I think this one might be a little bit trickier. Yeah, just gonna try and figure it out. Pry some bits off and probably have to lift up the bonnet and find some screws and bolts in there, I'm sure, maybe in the grille. Find the lights, who knows. So we've taken the last bit of trim off that wheel and we're just trying to pull this out. Can't get the clip out for the cable for the lights, but that's fine. We've lifted the light up to get the bolt out from underneath. And this looks like it kind of wants to come, and this piece is coming with it, so we reckon we probably need to take off this bit of white panel here first, and then maybe that comes off, and then the bumper at the bottom comes off. Let's get the screwdriver in under there. That just comes out, and that just comes out.
Finally managed to get this bloody bumper off.
Woo!
It comes in 2 parts rather
Took a
than
while.
just the bottom bit, which we didn't know until the very last minute.
Whoa! That's only propped on.
Oops. Careful, Abby.
Solve that for a second.
So this whole panel, when he's gone into the post here, has shifted this whole thing along, and it's now sitting skew-iff in front of the van. I don't know if that's fixable or not. Don't drive into a post, folks.
But it was quite satisfying when that finally popped off. It's just like, oh, it's not coming, it's not
Bit of a
coming,
beast
and
of a
then
thing,
boom,
isn't it?
just falls off.
But at least the only damage to the bumper itself is that tiny crack there.
So I already found out that this is just the crash bar, reinforcer bar, they call it, behind the bumper, which it looks like it's actually pretty easy to replace in one piece. Just going to buy one of those on eBay, and then the only problem we have is that where it joins, it's crumpled. So if the damage had only been here, we could have just taken this one off and put another one on. Unfortunately, this bit is a bit bent there, but we took it down to the garage and the guy there reckons it should be pretty easy to pull that out. But he can't do that probably until early February now. So for now, we will just put this bumper back on, cover it up, carry on with the back of the van, and then at some point, we know how to get it off now, just go and fix this up, which should be quite good. They're crazy.
This is driving me crazy. This is where I do it wrong.
So we are literally watching paint dry right now.
Come on.
So we finally finished painting this bit of the door, which actually we're fairly happy with. It came out okay in the end. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a lot better than it was, and it'll stop it hopefully getting more rusty where it was exposed, where it was damaged there. You can still see the creases obviously. We tried to pull them out a little bit, but that wasn't really working too good. It's just quite bashed in there. But yeah, quite happy with that. At some point, I mean, we don't really like the white colour of the van anyway, so we might end up in the future at some point doing a proper respray of it. Not us. After doing this, I don't really like playing around with the paints. Even just doing the small area is just a pain in the arse. We finally got all the trim back on, apart from the bumper, which is still kind of off at the front. But apart from that, it's all back on, all water sealed and everything. So we don't have to worry about the rain again tonight, which is amazing.
And our light casings are fixed on the back.
And the lights are fixed, so basically all of the front prep is done, other than just putting the bumper back. But we're going to wait until February for someone to have a look at that crash bar. But for all intents and purposes, for our point, it's done.
Cheers!
So cheers, celebrating with a beer.
Come on then, let's get started.
I've been sitting down for like 1 minute.
I want to do it. I wanted to do this for ages.
If you like this video, subscribe below and join us next time where we tackle the floor.